but I love it. Welcome back. Cindy Dole here. We're listening to Home Wizards, and the song, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It could also fill in the blanks, the most dangerous time of the year. At least that's what our friends with the Home Safety Council might say, because a lot of things can go wrong as you're getting ready for the hustle and the bustle. Mary Kay Oppie is the president of the Home Safety Council. So thanks, Mary Kay, for making us kind of get through that Bart Simpson mentality so we don't, fall off ladders.
Really. Really.
And then I think part of it, too, is that I think that it really takes a lot for us to face the reality of a lot of things in our life. And we just kind of ignore what Mom and Dad taught us. We just think it's never going to happen to us.
That's so true. That's, in fact, been studied. And with the last thing we want to believe is that any harm could come to our own loved ones. But, in fact, it can. The good news is with injury prevention, it often is quite simple to prevent and often costs very little money. Sometimes with little children, for example, it's just better supervision, making sure that somebody's really keeping eyes on them, and that part of the plan is just to slow everything down, maybe do a little less, so that we can really protect what we value most in life.
And while we're talking about the mentality thing, I mean, you talk about this every day all over the country on all levels in terms of home safety. Is there a little bit of, especially from teenagers and younger, the sense that, it's not hip to be safe?
That's an interesting question. I think the young people feel invulnerable. They really don't think anything will ever harm them, and it's that too has been studied. I try to be careful and not preach to people when it comes to safety, but rather point out what the real risks are, not over-awfulize, but just be honest and straightforward. 20,000 deaths is a lot, and when you're thinking about this time of year, you and I chatted a little bit about this earlier. Sometimes you can't even see the risks to your family, and an example of that is carbon monoxide. This is the time of year when folks are going to start turning on their heating systems, burning fuels, maybe your fireplace or a wood stove or even an oil or gas burner. Anything in your home, any appliance that burns fuel like that, is a source of deadly carbon monoxide. And unfortunately, if you don't have a carbon monoxide detector, you won't know that the levels of the poisonous gas are building up in your home. So one of the things, I actually give them as gifts. Think about the people in your life who may be very young or older. Pregnant women need to be extremely careful about this, but really, CO is a danger to anybody. So if you have a fuel-burning appliance, you need to have a carbon monoxide detector, and your state of California is actually taking a really proactive stance on this, and a law has been passed that will require CO detectors in homes as of July of this year.
Good.
Yes, I think it's good because people sometimes need to be encouraged a little bit. If there are people you love and they don't have a CO alarm, the holidays are a good time to wrap one up and put them under the tree or give them as a Hanukkah or Kwanzaa gift.
Yeah. And I think that there probably are some mixed messages that we send in society that, hey, go ahead, take risks. Be a success. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
But then, wait a minute. If you have that kind of confidence, maybe you go, you know what? I'm not worried about fire. I'm not worried about this or that because I'm a risk taker. I'm a successful person,
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and I think you're right. All I would ask is that we carefully evaluate and know what the risk really is. I mean, there's a researcher a doctor in Canada, Dr. Kahn, who has an interesting idea called the stupid line. And basically, the trick is you don't want to cross the stupid line. Yes, there are going to be times when we all push it a little bit, but the things you want to prevent would be those injuries that have the worst outcome, either death or a head injury that can't really be fixed. So things like a fall in your home. You want to avoid that because, especially for older people, a fall can really be a life-changing event and prevent us from continuing to live independently and happily in the home we love. So falls prevention tips would be to, if you have stairs in your home, install a second handrail. Many stairs in homes today have a handrail on one side but not the other, and you really need them on both. I'm a big believer in grab bars in the tub and shower. In fact, I took the step of installing 2 in my own tub here in Washington, D.C., even though I'm not at the age group that suffers the severest consequences.
Well, because you're 21.
That's it. But get this. There was a study done from Columbus Children's Hospital in Ohio, Nationwide Children's Hospital, rather, and some 40,000 kids go to the hospital emergency rooms every year, because of slips in the bathtub. So really, grab bars are great for everybody.
Boy, we have a lot to talk about. We still have to get to picking the right fresh tree. And then, again, when I weigh this against one of my pet peeves is seeing people cross the street while they're checking their email, or not to mention driving while texting. But we're going to get to good old-fashioned safety with the holidays. As you are picking that fresh tree, it wants to be a fresh and happy one for you. You want to make sure it doesn't have those needles falling off. But what else to prevent a holiday, fire, and anything else that can go wrong? Home wizard Cindy Dole, we're back after this.
I wrote to you with childhood